O.
Keep meeting like this, you know.
New faces, VTR 6032-78. This is part one. Take one.
R. S. T. U. V. W.
Yes, it's New Faces. And here he is, Derek Hobson.
Thank you very much indeed. And a warm welcome this Sunday afternoon to another packed full of talent show of new faces. And in fact, tonight we're looking for one act to come back here on the 12th of February. But of course, the gala final is coming up very soon, and we'll be telling you more about that in the coming weeks ahead too, because who knows, the act that wins here today could very well be coming back to the gala final in April. Anyway, for the moment, let's get down to meeting the panel, and we'll start with Mr. Shaw Taylor.
Good evening.
With Mr. George Elric. Mr. Terry Wogan. And Lionel Blair. And just because you're sitting in the Mickey Mouse chair, you should...
Mouse
Well, the
chair.
Mickey Mouse
Yes,
chair. I mean,
there
it's
you are.
ridiculous.
Just come back from Disney
I'm
World.
glad we didn't do that, gang.
How outrageous that was. How outrageous.
Who knotted your tie?
Oh, thank
Yes,
you.
Anyway.
You can talk about the fashion later,
Yes,
Lionel.
okay.
You can talk about the fashion.
Yours.
I'm sure, yes, I know. Well, that'll probably be interesting as well. Here is an act. Let's go to an act. I think it would be much more fun. We'll go to an act. 5 fellas, in fact, from Liverpool. They're waiting to go. Indeed, Liverpool you're going to hear a lot about today, because we seem to have a lot of acts from that part of the world who work up there. And here comes a new sound as well. Written by the boys, Never Gonna Let You Go, Superstride.
Let you go.
much indeed. Well, there we are. Nice, bright start this afternoon there with Superstride and Terry Wogan, five fellows from Liverpool. I can tell you that there's no recording contract or publishing deal or anything yet. Do you think that there's a chance for them?
Well, I'm one of the few people on this program who is, or never has been, an agent or a manager of any kind, so I'm not in a position to offer them anything. But I can say that I thought it was an excellent opener. I thought good, strong number, perhaps not quite different enough to lift it right out. But I think this band have really got chances. I think the modern, that nice up-tempo bit in the middle, the way they lifted the tempo, really very impressive.
Thank you very much indeed, Terry. A nice bright start from him for Superstride. George?
Yes, I thought the number was very well presented, and they look good, they're dressed well. One little bit of advice, just to watch the tempo, because in the middle they were inclined to just run a little. You want to watch it, fellas, because you lose the beat that way. But it was very good, and I liked the number, and very well presented.
Do you like the lineup?
Yes.
The
I
two
think
lads out front there.
Yes, I think they must have put a lot of work into it, because it was very well presented. I think they've got chances, a lot of talent there.
Fine, thank you very much indeed. Encouragement from our first two panellists so far. Sure.
Yeah, it's a
Superstride.
good-looking, isn't it? Good-looking professional group. As George says, they dressed well, they look good, and they sound good. I like the way they dovetail in with their singing, but I think they could capitalize on that just a little bit more. This could be the song that could go for them, and I think they wrote it themselves, didn't they?
Yes, indeed.
So if they wrote it themselves, it could be the song, but a little bit more of the tongue twister in it, a little bit more gimmickry in it, and I think they could be there.
Well, I'm sure looking for gimmickry and so forth. Do you think that that's necessary, Lionel?
No, I thought they were a super group, a super song. I liked them very much. I loved the male solo singer in Red. I thought he was smashing. I think if they could work on their routine, I don't know whether they do an act with more routine in it, with more dancing in it, because I think the two guys up front are great movers. I think they can put a lot more into that. And if this isn't recorded, I think if it's mad, because if it were recorded, I'm sure it would be played all the time. I loved them.
Well, that's very encouraging from our panel. Let's see now. There we are. Lionel, marks for presentation.
Oh, 9.
9, he says straight away. Terry?
8.
8. George?
8.
And Shaw?
One more 8.
8. 33 marks for presentation. The Superstride. It's a good high start, though, fellas, and on to content. Lionel?
I like the number 9.
9. Terry?
8.
George?
And 8 again.
And Shaw?
7 from me.
All right, 32 then for content. Entertainment value and Lionel.
I think they've got a lot of work to put into it, and I'm giving them 8. for
8.
entertainment.
Terry?
Well, I think they're right up to date, and I'm going to give them 9 for entertainment.
9. George?
No, I'm going to give them 8.
And Shaw?
It's got to be 8.
That's 33, 98. 98 for Superstride. And fellas, I hope that you get that recording contract that you're after. I'm sure that a lot of people in the record business have been looking in there, and I wonder what they thought about Superstride. No doubt we'll hear very soon. All right, from 5 new faces to just 1, and to a fellow who, in fact, was a singer when he began in this business, but he got rather fed up doing the singing, and he preferred to do a bit of mickey-taking at the microphone. And so it's with comedy that he's been concentrating in our business and working not only in this country but abroad. Got lots of work lined up for the summer too, but hoping that this spot will help even more for Mr. Peter John Mitchell.
Fly me to the moon and let me play among the stars. Stars. My birthday tomorrow. I got this watch for my birthday. They said it'll last a lifetime. When the mainspring breaks, it slashes your wrist. Let me know what love is like on Jupiter and Mars. I've never been to Mars, but I have been to America. This is true. You hear about the Americans when they got back from... Are you still asleep? In 3 minutes' time, you'll wake up. You won't remember a word I've said. In America, when they got back from Vietnam, instead of giving them medals, they started to give them money, and 3 Yanks got back from Vietnam to Washington. The general said, listen, you guys, instead of giving you medals, we're going to give you money, just one thing. Get any part of your body measured, we'll give you $1,000 an inch. Said the first GI, what do you want measuring? Round the chest. So they measured him. 44 inches, $44,000. Take it and live a good life. Thank you, sir. Said the next one, where do you want measuring? He said, around there. 50 inches, $50,000. Take it and live a good life. Thank you, sir. Said the next one, where do you want measuring? He said, me foot. Your foot, it's $1,000 an inch. He said, I know, sir. Where do you want it measuring from? He said, my heel to my big toe. Where's your big toe? He said, Vietnam. In other words, hold my hand. In other words, darling, won't you kiss me? I haven't been kissed by a girl in 16 years. I'm just unlucky that way. Went into a bar in Birmingham today. It was a bit rough, actually. There was two guys at the bar paying for the beer with copper cable. The barmaid was lovely. I said, I'd like a drink. Here's a 20-pound note. Get me a small whiskey and get something for yourself. She went out and bought a trouser suit. Fill my heart with song and let me sing forevermore. 'Cause you are all I long for, all I worship and adore, adore. And a lovely story about a door concerns Idi Amin. Now, Idi Amin and two of his friends were lost on the moors, and they went to this farm. They knocked on the door. The farmer opened the door. He said, what do you want? He said, we'd like to stay here. The farmer said, stay there. Shut the door. No, he said, we want to stay here for the night. He said, two in here, one in the barn. The Jew said, all right already. I've roughed it before. I'll sleep in the barn. And off he went. 10 minutes. Knock on the door. There's the Jew. What's wrong? He said, I can't sleep in the barn. Why? There's a pig in the barn. So what? He said, I can't sleep with a pig. It's against my religion. The Pakistani said, I'll sleep in the barn. Off he went. 10 minutes later, knock on the door. There's Chalky. He cannot sleep in the barn. There's a cow in the barn. He cannot sleep with a cow. It's against my religion. Idi Amin said, I'm going to sleep in the barn. Off he went. 10 minutes. Knock on the door. They opened it. There's a pig and a cow. In other words, I blew the lyric. Please be true. Ladies and gentlemen, drive home safe, because I'm walking. The car's broke down. There's an oil leak. Got a good guy looking at it. He's called Red Adair. I hope that each and every one of you out there lives to see the end of Crossroads. In other words, I love you.
Thank you very much. Pete, John, Mitchell, a comic there. And I know that our panel often, obviously it's the material that very involved with Lionel, but what about the looks? Because looks are very important for a comic.
Well,
Do you think he had the looks for a comedian?
Yes, he's got that dour look that can be very funny sometimes. Les Dawson has that dour look. But he's dancing. No, I thought the man is a professional. I loved his jokes. I hadn't heard practically all of them before. I thought it was smashing. I loved his approach. When he said he blew the lyrics, he blew the lyrics. There was nothing wrong with it. And he did that professionally. The man is a professional. That's
Thank you very much, Lionel. A professional there. Did you like, Terry, the way he used his material with the song, the link?
Yes, I did. I thought he did a very, very professional job. I'd just like to agree with Lionel on that, the making of a mistake. Lots of people think that professionalism means never making a mistake. Professionalism is making a mistake, but being able to get over it. And he did. And he was marvellous.
Yeah.
Excellent.
Thank you very much. Thank you, Terry. George?
Well, I think slick is the word for him. I liked his technique, and there's a lot of talent hidden behind those Elton John glasses. I think he's a very fine comedian. I hadn't heard many of the gags, only about one, and the way he delivers them is excellent. I can't see anything but success for this boy.
Well, thank you very much, George. Success, then, coming. Says George for Pete John Mitchell. Well, then, sure, the last say on this.
The last time I heard somebody say that being professional was making a mistake and being able to get over it was Terry Wogan's mother. But I mean, that's another story entirely. No, Pete is the full professional, and that act can't go wrong, can it? The bit of singing a bit, telling a gag, singing a bit. Doesn't matter whether you're singing or playing an instrument, which he did extremely well. I think he has better material tucked up his sleeve. You haven't got a microphone there, so nod or shake your head. Do you write your own stuff, Pete?
He does. He says he writes some
You're
of it.
nodding your head, and you've got, I think, haven't you better material than used tonight, maybe? Yeah, I thought you might have, but
Have
no.
you got any better material?
He's just cracked one.
All right, well, I don't know whether you heard all that at home, but Pete was replying there and saying possibly he had better material. But let's see what they think about the presentation before the content. Terry, presentation.
I'd give it 9 for presentation.
9 for presentation. George?
Me too.
9 more. Sure.
So would I.
All right,
So would
Lionel,
I.
that's 36 marks for presentation. For content, Terry?
7.
7. George?
No, I liked all the gags. 9.
9. Sure.
7 for me.
And Lionel?
9.
Okay, that's 32 then. For content, entertainment value, and Terry.
I'd give it 8 for entertainment value.
George?
No, he entertained me. 9.
George is not going to be moved. Sure.
No.
9 again.
9 again, and Lionel?
9 again.
That's
for me.
35, 103! 103! And an early leader. An early leader is Pete John Mitchell. The content didn't amuse a couple of our panellists, but nonetheless, those marks do mean that whether or not Pete wins today, he will be back with us because any act that scores over 100 makes a second visit here to New Faces. Well, now to a lovely young lady who's been an actress working in plays, also working in musicals. She starred in My Fair Lady and many of the other fine musicals, also very versatile with a cabaret act, including comedy. But today, it's the fine number from Kismet. This is My Beloved that we're going to hear from Anne O'Brien.
G H I J New Faces, VTR 6032/78. This is part 2, take 1. M N O P Q
You know, it really is very hard having to stand there for 2 or 3 minutes while the commercials are on to wait for our panel. Anne O'Brien there from Altrincham and her performance from Kismet there before the break. What about it?
Well, Anne O'Brien is a belter, and you know I'm an absolute sucker for belters, and this little lady's not just a
Happy
belter,
to.
but she is a class belter as well, and can not only sing beautifully, I think, with this very powerful voice coming out of a pint-sized person. She hits the notes right smack bang in the middle. She goes to them with ease, and on top of all this, I'm told she also does a comedy act
Yes.
and everything else. So I don't think she will ever be out of work. I
Thank
think
you,
she's
sure,
excellent.
yes. George, I'll go to you next on this one. Anne O'Brien.
Well, she did a very fine job in a very difficult song. It's a very difficult song to sing, and she sang it beautifully in tune. She's got everything as far as musical comedy or summer shows or pantomime. She should never be out of work. I can't imagine her doing comedy somehow or another, although Joan Turner succeeds in doing it, and she sings...
She's making faces over there.
and she sings a fairly good song, but she'll never be out of work. She's an excellent singer, and I liked her very much indeed.
Well, there's no harm in not being out of work. I know the feeling. Terry.
Too well. Too right. Compared musically with the first act, like Superstride, she's poles apart, but that's the beauty of a show like this, to get that kind of variety. It's a lovely song, comes from a lovely show, Kismet, and you can't fault the voice. A lovely performance.
Thank you very much. Well, they're all full of praise there. Forgetting about your atrocious dress sense tonight, I mean, what about the lovely
Oh, I
lady?
thought she
What
looked
about her?
smashing. I thought she looked lovely. She sang beautifully. And I don't know whether Anne knows this, but they're doing a revival of Kismet. Have you auditioned yet? Well, they're auditioning at the Shaftesbury Theatre. I do know that. And you're going. Oh, well,
Having
I
a
don't
lovely
see
conversation
any
here,
reason why, because I'm told you're an actress as well, and Marcella is an acting part as well. I don't see any reason why you shouldn't play the part.
Well, there's Lionel forcing you off to an
There you
audition,
are.
but there's a thought for you, isn't
No.
there, Anne? Anyway, George, let's have some marks. Presentation.
8.
8. Sure.
10.
10, he says. Lionel.
8.
And Terry.
8.
34 marks to start with for Anne O'Brien. Content, George.
9 for content.
9 for content, sure.
9.
Lionel.
One of the loveliest songs. 9.
9, Terry.
8.
8, that is 35 then for content. Entertainment value, and George.
Yes, beautifully sung. 9.
9, sure.
9 again.
Lionel.
9.
And Terry.
7.
7, that is 34, 103. We have a tie. Well. 3 acts gone and 2 of them tying on 103. Now, you can't go away. Really, you can't. There's 4 more acts left, and we've got a very fine double act. Another young pair who come from Liverpool. It seems to be the place where so many talents arrive from in this business. And with all these double acts around in show business, I see at the present that Mike and Bernie are considering splitting up. So there must be room for people in the double act world. Let's see what you think of Rogers and Hammersmith.
I have to write to say that I won't be home anymore. You've ruined it again, haven't you?
Well, I was only trying to help, sir.
Tell you what you do. Go and get ready, I'll cover up for you. Go on. Girls, you're not going to believe this. Live on stage, we have for you, in the New Faces studio, Mr. Robert Mitchum. That was John Wayne's voice, that, wasn't it?
All right, calm down. Come on, what's your problem, man? What's your problem, man? Yeah, right. No, actually, Miss Jones is here tonight. Yeah, Miss Jones. Oh, yeah. Actually, I went out shopping today with Miss Jones, yeah. Actually, I stopped to look in the shop window and someone jacked me up and pinched me socks.
I went into a do-it-yourself shop in Birmingham. I said, I want a bag of nails. He said, how long do you want them? I said, I want to keep them. Tell you what my favourite show on television is?
What's that?
Crossroads.
Starring?
Starring the fat fella who works in the garage with Stan Harvey. What's his name, girls? Jim Baines.
Want to get it together, Stan Lloyd? That's a lot of money.
Meanwhile, back in Gotham City...
Robin, old chump.
Yes, Batman. I'll have to watch that.
Robin, I've just had a message from Commissioner Gordon.
Holy gay gardens, Batman, you've had a message?
Yeah, I've had a message, yeah. I've had a message, yeah.
What'd he say, Batman?
It said that the Penguin has just fallen off the Empire State Buildings.
Holy broken biscuits.
Yes, Robin, it could have been worse. He could have been run over by a wagon wheel.
Or he could have jumped into a taxi and made his breakaway and joined our club, Batman. Is this the end for Batman and Robin? Or do we have to send for the Cape Crusader from the streets of San Francisco?
Hi there. I'm a cop on the streets of San Francisco. You know, I helped clean up this town. I taught the pigeons to fly on the backs. Oh, that's it, I've just blew me cover. Ladies and gentlemen, it's Cliff and Friends.
Hi, the fans. On the show tonight, I have with me, over here, Mr. Hank Marvin. Say hello, Hank. There he is. Take it easy, Hank. Over there, boy. How about this? How about this song for Europe? You ready? Here we go. Baby power to all friends. Bless you.
Thank you very much, audience. Thank you. You know, the lovely thing about watching the artists, you know, in rehearsal during the day is to see them gradually gain their confidence. And that seemed to be an act, George, that was gaining confidence as it went along.
That's right. In the afternoon, I said, if this act gets it together, they're going to be great. And they got it together tonight. It was much tighter than it was in the run-through, and it was a very funny act. In fact, they packed a tremendous amount into that 3 minutes, and I thought they were very good. Reminded me a little bit of Little and Large, but that doesn't matter, because they're good, and they're good too.
All right, they're good. That'll do. All right, Sean. Sure.
I think it's rather nice to see somebody doing impersonations of people who aren't quite so well known, instead of going through the usual list, you know, your Eddie Waring, etc., etc. Suddenly somebody attacking a different form of impression. I go along with you too, George, that they have improved through rehearsal. I think a little more discipline is needed. Where they need to look now is towards disciplining the act and getting it rather tighter.
A little bit tighter. Okay. Lionel.
I think exactly the same as Sean, what he said. If they tighten up and discipline, I thought the same during rehearsals. I thought, well, they're very good, but it needs cleaning up and tightening up, and then they'll be marvelous.
Let's make a point to all the people who are joining us, you know, on Sundays for the first time. By rehearsals, we mean that last run-through before the actual show.
And Carl Malden was great. I thought he was great. Leonard Rossiter, marvellous. I loved all your impressions, too.
That's fine. Terry, last say. I don't know whether you heard that at home, but he said he liked the sweater of Lila's. No accounting for taste. Terry.
Well, again, I agree with the rest of the panel. I thought the impersonations were unusual, were very well done. Carl Malden's hooter has always been a very big feature. I was disappointed he didn't try Robert Mitchum, because he looked so like him.
Yeah.
Terrific.
Okay, sure, let's have some marks. Presentation for Rogers and Hammersmith. 8. Lionel.
Oh, 9.
9. Terry.
I think on that performance, 9.
9. And George.
Me too, 9.
Okay, 35. No stopping them. Content. Sure.
8 again.
8 for content. Lionel.
8.
8 for content. Terry?
I'm a bit difficult. I think that, the impersonations were marvellous. I think their material, the jokes, need to be a bit sharper. So, 7.
7. And George?
I'll go for 8.
Okay, that's 31 nonetheless. Finally, Shaw entertainment value.
8 again.
8. Lionel.
10.
10. He liked it.
Yeah.
Terry.
Entertaining.
Well, they knocked out the audience. I've rarely had an audience here go as well. I'd give them 9 for that.
9. And George?
I was just going to say that. 9.
9. That's 36. 102. 102. Well. 1 point off our joint leaders. They really are getting good marks today, and
It's a good show.
it's a good show. It's a very good show, and we're certainly enjoying it. I hope you're getting that atmosphere at home. As we move on now to a singer, we saw that lovely Anne O'Brien before the break, and now to a male singer who's done a lot of radio, cabaret, no television in the last few years, and here's a Stevie Wonder song, All Is Fair in Love, from Mr. Colin Anthony.
Love's a crazy game. Two people vow to stay. In love is one they say, but all has changed with time. The future none can see. The road you leave behind. Ahead lies mystery. But all is fair in love. I had to go away. A writer takes his pen, write the words again, that all in love is fair. All fate's a chance. It's either good or bad. I toss my coin to say, with me you'll stay. But all in war is so cold. You either win or lose when all is put away. The losing side I'll play. Write the words again, that all in love is fair. A writer takes his pen to write the words again, that all in love is fair.
Thank you very much indeed. Colin Anthony there, and All Is Fair in Love. Lionel,
Yes.
straight, you're going to get the first go
Well,
on this one.
he's a class singer. The man has a beautiful voice. And with his unusual looks, I think he's got to get a different look for himself, because I've known so many class singers who have just not made it. There just has not been that little bit something different about them, something distinctive. I think if he got a special look, like I saw Barry Manilow in America just recently.
You're thinking of, or not?
Yes, in his outfit, trousers and shirt is not Colin. I think he wants to get something unusual, because the voice is magnificent. I have no fault with the voice at all.
Well,
it's terrific.
we'll hear what
But
your
get a
marks are
different
for
sort of
that
look.
a little later. On to you, Terry.
Well, yeah, a stylish, very stylish singer, first-class singer. Stylized as well. And the problem with Colin Anthony, and perhaps why he hasn't enjoyed the television exposure he certainly deserves for his quality voice, is that there are a lot of tremendous singers in this field doing exactly this. Jack Jones,
And male
Tony
ballad singers
Bennett
in
of
this
the...
country aren't doing all that well at the present, are they?
Well, no, and neither are the female singers. There's one excellent chap who does a floral dance. I high hopes for him.
Yes. Thank you. I think that you should stop after that, really, Terry. George. George.
Well, I'm a sucker for this kind of singer and this kind of song. He sang it very well indeed. Now, this isn't a criticism. This is a little bit of advice. I think you ought to watch when he bends his notes, that he does it on an open vowel rather than do it on a consonant, because then you lose the effect of the broken phrase. He does it very well, but it makes it more difficult unless you do it in a vowel. It's a little point.
Okay.
But otherwise, perfect.
And just a last word or two from you, Sean.
Not a lot I can add.
Yeah.
Except Floral Dance is 21 in the Hong Kong charts, I'm told. Is that right, Terry?
All right. Well, I'll tell you what, Sean. You can give us your impressions in marks as Lionel starts us off here. Marks of presentation.
Presentation 8.
8. Terry.
8 for me,
8
too.
again. George.
9.
And Sean.
I think the wrong song. 7.
7. Okay, 32 nonetheless. Contents. Lionel.
7.
7. Terry.
8.
George.
And 8.
Sean.
Unhappy with the song. 6.
6. And that's 29 for content. Entertainment value and Lionel.
7.
7. Terry.
Yes, I agree with Lionel, 7.
George.
No, I say 8.
8. And Shaw.
With another song, the man has it. 8.
All right, 30. 91. 91 for Colin Anthony. Well, we are having a really incredible show today, and if we just look at the board, you'll see how close it's all been. In fact, we've got 2 acts tying, Pete, John Mitchell and Anne O'Brien with 103, and Rogers and Hammersmith with 102, and yet there are still 2 more acts to see. So if you come back here to us in Studio 1 at ATV Centre in Birmingham, you'll find what does happen today, but for the moment, we're going to take a break.
A,
The mood we were in.
B,
And we're
Hugh
gonna
Faces,
enjoy
VTR 6032, stroke 78, part 3, take 1, you know. D, E, F, G, H, I,
Welcome back here to an extremely exciting show today with 2 acts tying at 103 marks. We've got Anne O'Brien and Pete John Mitchell doing extremely well there. And on we go with another act, yet another act from Liverpool. And here are 3 faces for you to meet. Lionel, you are putting me off. 3 faces to meet, John, Pat and Ron. Indeed, it was Ron who wrote this song called The Mating Train for the Pattons Trio.
laughed and fell in love. The train we waited for, the train was blue. I heard it start. Here it's starting now. Was it the train, or was it my heart? That big old moon was shining, his face was so bright. He seemed to wink at us and say his love at first sight. We stayed until the end, until the light of the light. I was hers and she was all mine. Was it the train, or was it my heart? She had to go back home to see her folks just once more. Then she's coming back to marry me in Baltimore. She's due in at 3:43. My baby's on her way home to me. I hear a timber bar. The train was blue. Clear the track. Go on and clear the track. It's a Chattanooga choo-choo that's bringing her back. It's a Chattanooga choo-choo bringing my baby to me.
Thank you very much. Well, there we are. That was John and Pat, husband and wife there, brother Ron, the Pattons trio, George Elric, and the song was theirs as well.
Well, I like the song very much indeed. It was very unusual, almost like Chattanooga Choo Choo, but the same type of thing. And that kind of song I like. I like their presentation and their easy manner in working. Ideal television as far as I'm concerned, because they're going into a home with an average of about 4 or 5 people sitting at home watching that, and I can't see them being anything but relaxed and listening to it. I thought they were excellent, and I liked them very much indeed.
Thank you, George. I suppose in one sense there's not a category of scoring, sure, but impact must be what it's all about too in the 3 minutes. Do you
Impact,
think
I think, is all.
impact,
Well, I think this little group reflect this afternoon's show generally, this lovely sort of happy atmosphere that it's got.
Yes.
And they've got a nice, happy approach. There's a high professional standard running throughout the whole show. This group dress well, they look good. I'm not too certain about whether one should write one's own number and take a chance, or whether one should go for a good standard. I think possibly they should have gone for a good standard.
Well, I suppose they thought that was going to help to show off the 3 of them.
Yeah.
Lionel?
I disagree, because I enjoyed the song so much, so I think that the song was very good. I think they look smashing, and I'm mad about her. She's great. And I think there's a lot of comedy in that lady, and I'm sure she does comedy in the act that when they work the clubs. And I found them entirely enjoyable.
Entirely enjoyable. Finally, Terry. Thank you. That wasn't applause for you, Terry, it was for the act. Entirely enjoyable. Anyway, Terry.
I was just beginning to blush. And they're very bright and they're very vivacious. I would just say about the number, it's the kind of novelty number that was very popular in the 50s, like 7 little girls sitting in the back seat with Fred and itsy bitsy teeny weeny yellow polka dot bikini.
The Vernons.
There isn't, I've got to say, there isn't much of a market for that kind of number. Certainly not in
the
the...
Rastrick Band has been in the top. How can you say that?
I didn't say.
Terry, marks, presentation. On you go. Come on.
I said nothing.
Get the mark.
But for presentation, I'll give them 8.
8, George.
9.
9, Shaw.
I'll give 8.
And Lionel.
8.
That's 33 marks, and on now to content. Terry.
I wasn't entirely convinced about the number. 7.
7, George.
No, I liked it. 8.
Shaw.
I was unconvinced as Terry, 7.
And Lionel.
I'm like George, 8.
30 marks for content. Entertainment value, Terry.
8.
My goodness, the break did him no good at all. George.
No, they entertained me. 9.
9, Shaw.
They entertained me as well, George. 9.
9 and Lionel. 8. 34, 97 in all. Good luck to you. Thank you. Well, today we have 17 new faces to meet. You've seen 12 of them. So you've seen 13 of them. We've got 4 more new faces left in the last act. And they're waiting to go on again with a new song, a new band for us on New Faces. The song's called Fall in Love with You. They wrote it, and they're called Past and Present.
The sun is brightly shining on my window pane. Tell me, what do I do now? If I knew you well, I would never fall in love with you. I can't help but thinking that I know what's in your heart. No one knows like me, but I just can't remember all the dreams I had with you. What am I supposed to do? You're just a one-man love, and I can't help but feeling you're just a one-man love, and I can't help revealing that someone broke the spell that had a hold on me, and I can't remember why. If I knew you well, I would never fall in love with you. You're just a one-man love, and I can't help but feel it. You're just a one-man love, and I can't help revealing that someone broke the spell that had a hold on me, and I can't remember why. If I knew you well, I would never fall in love with you. Fall in love with you. Fall in love with you. Fall in love with you.
Thank you very much indeed. The last act today, then, on New Faces. Past and present, and I wonder, Short Taylor, have their future.
Well, once again, isn't it lovely to see 4 guys smiling at you? Lovely smiling faces, obviously very happy. Lionel was saying earlier how he thought the whole show was well up to scratch, and I don't think these boys have let it down at all, have
Okay.
they? First class.
Thank you. First class. George.
Yeah, I thought they were first class. I liked the drummer, very good drummer indeed. And the song was unusual for a group to sing, but I liked it nevertheless. It was a change to hear them sing a good song rather than some of the stuff that they
What
played.
about that number, Terry?
Well, I thought it had a nice country feel and nice harmonies. Nice is a bad word. It's not a tremendous amount of impact in that song. I think they have a lot of talent. I think they could afford to try more difficult harmonies and get closer to groups, country rock groups like the Eagles and people like that.
That's the thought
Yes.
for you. I think they're nodding in agreement there. Final say,
Yes,
Lionel.
I think it was a little past and not enough present, if you know what I mean. I think they're very good. The sound was good, but it sounded very like You've Got Your Troubles, I've Got Mine. And it was a mixture of rock. I didn't know whether it was rock or country. The mixture, I wasn't too sure about.
Okay. He wasn't too sure about the mix. Let's see marks from presentation for Shaw as we start.
8 for presentation.
8.
And
George. 8 again. Terry.
And from me.
8 more. Lionel.
7.
And that's 31 for presentation. Content. Shaw.
A little ordinary, the song, 7.
7. George.
I liked it, 8.
Terry?
I agree with Shaw.
7. Don't be too unhappy about that. Lionel?
I agree with Terry and Shaw.
All right.
7.
7. 29 for Quantum. Entertainment value and Shaw.
I like the happiness. 9.
9. George?
8.
Terry?
8.
And Lionel?
7.
7, 32, 92. Every act today has scored more than 90 marks, and Rogers and Hammersmith will be back again because they scored more than 100. But will be a tie situation, the first time in this series that we have it. That's going to happen for the 12th of February. 2 acts will be back. Pete, John Mitchell, and Anne O'Brien. From all of us to all of you, until next Sunday at the same time, goodbye. Cheerio.